every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Grand uprising, my people. Grand uprising, Trinidad and Tobago. Hope everybody's doing super califragilistic, and continue to shade under the golden branches of the Creator's love and care. Just a few things this morning. I am going to preempt most of my greetings because I have a topic that my regular topic will come after, but I want to talk about something that I spoke about last week. And I want to preface it with a few phone calls I would have had and some conversation. And just so that I made it clear with reference to what I was trying to get across. And some people can construe whatever they want to, because sometimes that's what we do. We selectively chose to believe whatever we want to believe. So let me just say good morning, good morning, Mrs. Spencer. Good morning, Gittins. Good morning, Gittins Jr., Miss Gittins Jr., and good morning, Mrs. Spencer. I think I get that right. But like I said, I'm going to preempt most of my greetings this morning. I'm just going to say good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to the entire population and those who locked on and can hear my voice now. Booba, good morning to you, my brother. Love in the house. Kylos, run that thing for me.
Are you dealing with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, prostate issues, cancer, PCOS, fibroids, or low testosterone? These conditions do not just show up overnight. They are signs that your body is out of balance. At the healthiest corner on earth, my focus is restoring that balance naturally, using time-tested herbs, personalized wellness plans, and nutritional guidance, helping your body return to homeostasis, the state where healing begins. When your body is in balance, it can protect, repair, and renew itself. You don't have to wait until things get worse. You can take control of your health now. My goal is simple: to prevent chronic disease and support your body's natural ability to heal. Book your free consultation today. Give me a call at 736-3962 or 709-8450. Let's restore balance and prevent what's preventable, because your healing journey starts with one step, and I am here to walk it with you.
So I'm back. Good morning again, my people. Good morning, and good morning. So let me start one time here, right? Last week I spoke about a particular situation as it pertains to the port. Now I'm going to use this platform. By the way, let me just say thank you to the people who were involved in the relevant authority in Wassa. Because by the time I meet up the road, they were fixing. Whether they heard it from me or not, I don't know. But in front of the tunnel got handled. There's still a few more things. I still find there are way too much leaks in our nation roadway. And we have an authority, or we have a section, for lack of a better word, that see about those things. I just think we need to show more love to our country. And this is just like a spin-off. Again, no disrespect, but how we treat ourselves is how we're going to treat our country. And I'm going to leave that right there. But the point I'm making is this. I just want to clarify a few things here, because I don't want to make any statement that people may construe as being biased. Of course, all of us have certain a priori built-in bias. We have certain a priori built-in bias, and we may choose to do certain things, and absolutely nothing is wrong with that. That's just the human element. I spoke about situations that went on in the port, and let me just punctuate this. 2.5 months ago, I called a supervisor, because I want to preface what I'm saying here so that people understand where I'm coming from. 2.5 months ago, I went down on the port, and it was about 04:30 in the morning, 04:30 hours in the morning. And there was a gentleman who I met, this is probably the 5th time that I met him at the ticket counter selling. And the gentleman, like, he's always sharp. No matter how the crowd is, no matter what goes on there, this young man handles stuff like a professional. If you look up the word customer service in the dictionary, there will be a picture of this young man. I'm going to call his name in a bit. So I'm prefacing it to let you guys know I don't have any beef with the port. My beef is the port's inconsistency that continues to embarrass people. That is my problem. And I want the port, those at the top, because I'm not talking about the middle managers, because they get hammered all the time, right? Those that do the good work. And please forgive me for the passion. Let me just seep in my disclaimer here. Disclaimer. I don't particularly like about myself when I get sincerely passionate, my voice elevate. I have a hard time modulating my voice. So I don't like it. And for some people out there, I don't expect you to like it. That's disclaimer. Disclaimer number 2. Let me apologize to the people whose feathers I'm about to ruffle. Disclaimer number 3. Let me apologize for the people who I cannot even help but look at me or hearing the sound of my voice and can't stand me. I'm sorry about that. You sit on that for a while. So let me move on. This young man, I called a supervisor to find out the young man's name because, like I said, it's 4 times I dealt with this, probably 5 times. And he's always so sharp. I wrote a letter to the department. I'm not going to disclose what happened with the letter. I'm just going to let you know the letter was written. If I could go this far, and this is not the first time, this is the first time I'm actually writing a letter, it shows you I have no problem with the port. My beef is the port's, as I said before, inconsistency. When I got off the phone, when I got off my program last week, I got 6 phone calls. Those 6 phone calls, 4 was from truckers. Oh, we glad you made that call and whatever. I didn't think too much of that because the truth and the fact is, we don't have much people in our country that comes together and battle together so that we can get things done better. As I said before, and I'll say it again, we oscillate between dormant and explosive, and therefore we make noise for things we're supposed to stay quiet for, and the opposite. What we're supposed to stay quiet about, we make a whole lot of noise, right? So I didn't think too much of it. However, I listened to them, and the kind of pressure they get in, I don't know who is in charge for that particular section on the trucks, right? But the 6 phone calls and 4 was the same story. Here's my thing. The Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago is to do a job to make the people that traverse between Trinidad and Tobago sailing or accommodation of such as easy as possible, not to put undue pressure. Look, if you're not following the port rule and regulation, absolutely, because you're going to bring the port into disrepute, and you're going to have a man who's trying to do his job not look like or reflecting like he's doing his job. So I'm for that. But when you're giving people undue pressure, that's not called for. It isn't called for. And I'm not going to be here battling other people's business. Here's what I'm going to go back and talk about. If let's say a citizen come into Trinidad and Tobago, for whatever reason, and they have to travel between Trinidad and Tobago on the ferry, they get supporting documents. I want you to trace me, track me here, stay with me, please, so you all know where I'm coming from. If they have to go to immigration and immigration gives them supporting documents to travel, they don't have an ID that says you're born in Trinidad and Tobago. Are you listening to what I'm saying? They just get the supporting document. They are okay to travel. They are okay to sail. But a person in Trinidad and Tobago that ID card expired 3.5 weeks, at best 4 months, on the other end of Trinidad that says, hey, we cannot let you go on the boat with an expired card. We cannot. Even though it's your photo and your name and it's a legal Trinidad and Tobago ID card, we can't let this happen. We understand that. Here, what we need from you. We need the paper from the registrar's office that says, you're renewing this, ... Okay, that was done. That was done, so they brought, the individual brought that document. Trinidad, okay, that document. Now remember, that was following specific order / protocol. In less than an hour, let's say 45 minutes, we carry, the individual carried that document, and I was witness to that. That is why I'm barking here. Trinidad say, fine, no problem, because remember, that's what they told us. You go up to Tobago, and there it is. Another individual, a port authority police, look you straight in your eye, as cold as ice. You can't travel with that. Hey, but Trinidad said it's okay to travel with. Well, we don't really care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that. I said, can I speak to a supervisor, please? Well, I'm the supervisor here, and I say, you can't travel with that. You cannot travel with that. But Trinidad, okay it. Now, talking to, because I was in the presence of the individual, now talking to the officer, people who know me, know that not going and fly by me, and I'm not backing down from a situation like that. It seems to me that your individual, who's Corporal Roger, that's his name, Corporal Roger, I want you to know, is Aloy Johnson talking about this. I said to you, at this point in time, this individual is from Trinidad. They don't know anybody over here. At least exercise, at least some sort of courtesy, please, and let this individual go back. Well, we can't let the trade. You maybe have to go inside to do this. Wait, hold on. You said they cannot sail. You said they can't travel. But we still have to go inside to verify certain thing. You just told me you are the supervisor. Your word go. But we have to go inside. To me, you either don't know your job or you're making up rules on the spot, like a lot of them down there does at times. Y'all need to get something straight. And I'm calling on the level. I'm calling on the top authority, the people who in charge of the port. I don't have any problems. And I gathered that from the other people as well. We don't have problems with you enforcing certain rules. We're going to follow your rules because I'm prepared to follow the rules. I'm ready to follow the rules because I have a big mouth. So I will follow the rules. I will acquiesce to your rules. But I won't acquiesce to your inconsistencies because it's telling me you don't know what you're doing and you're confusing and embarrassing me. That's what you're doing. Because when I go there, a few things happen to me already, you know, but I'm not going to talk about those things. You know why I'm not going to talk about those things? If I'm allowed to say this, I was partially responsible for it because I didn't check my ticket. I just took it for granted that the sailing was from Trinidad at 1600 hours that particular day, but the ticket says Tobago from that particular day at 16 hours. They wait till I almost go on the boat and they pull me off. Lucky thing that the man who did this. I'm not going to talk about it again. I really won't. But the man who did this to me could have told me this because I came down to the port early and I was in the premium line. The person who did this to me could have come to me and said, hey, go inside and organize what you need to organize because there's a mistake on your ticket here. No, they wait till I was going on the boat and then they pulled me off. I now had to run inside. I meet another little, I wouldn't use the word here, that look at me and say, well, when you make it out the ticket, you should have watched good because you, now he already implying that the mistake was me. It was me. I know when I'm traveling. So what I am in Trinidad buying a ticket. So what am I saying? I'm traveling from Tobago to go up for to come back down from Tobago with 2 tickets. Me in what sense that make? However, what he was implying is that it was my mistake. Now we talking about 20 minutes to 4 here now because all kind of stuff. I said, you don't have the power to decide whether I travel or not because he tell me one time, well, you're going to have to go on standby. And I'm watching this. Anyway, I called for a supervisor and my stuff was straightened out expeditiously. So they're good people working at the port. Good people. Officer Philip, Officer Mac, Miss Carolyn Greenwich, Miss Roberta Julian. When people like that work hard like this, I could call more name. When people like this work hard, you have people like Corporal Roger and others who giving Trinidadians and Tobagonians a hard time to travel between the waters, or you're making them look bad, or you're mitigating everything they try to do, or you're tying them out, and or you're bringing not only the entire stuff into disrepute, because many of the men at the top, I'm sure, they're doing what they need to do. All you need to stop making up rules on the spot and embarrassing people. Like I said, I have no beef with the Port Authority. My problem is your inconsistencies, and I'm not about to sit down as a citizen, a proud citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and deal with that kind of problems there from all you. And what, all you don't like the pitch of my voice now? Sorry. I just tell all you, I put my disclaimer. When I get passionate, it's hard for me to modulate my voice. Somehow, I don't necessarily like it by myself, so I don't expect you to like it. So if you don't like it, sit down beside it right now. But my point is, your inconsistencies is a problem. And I'm begging this Corporal Roger, please. Now, when I start articulating my particular position, he said to somebody who made a phone call to him, Mr. Johnson, I was abusive. Well, if I was abusive, why didn't you arrest me right there? I would have loved that. I would have sincerely loved that. Should have arrested me right there. I wasn't abusive, but I was firm. I was firm. Asking, I'm watching this cold man. You own the port? You own the port? Too much inconsistencies, man. Too many. And I'm calling again on the relevant authority to get your stuff straight. Mr. Johnson has no problem carrying out your rules. I don't. I'm not going to rebut it. I'm going to stand by them. I ain't about to stand by inconsistencies. Don't come wrong with that story. Inconsistencies and me, no friend. Me and that, no friend. The truck people, I hope all they get that situation sorted out, because me ain't really going and fight that battle there. I don't know who in charge. But I wish somebody hearing me now and could possibly ease up a little bit and make the traversing between Trinidad and Tobago, especially for our citizens. We need one another a little bit easier. I would leave that there for now. This morning, I want to talk about the power of vitamin D3, cholecalciferol. And I'm going to bring in a few other things and see how well we can, or how far I can get with my program. But I definitely had to talk about this morning. I really had to. And Lord Father. But let me cool out a little bit. I will cool out. Please, thank you, my brother. Let me breathe a little bit.
Are you dealing with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, prostate issues, cancer, PCOS, fibroids, or low testosterone? These conditions do not just show up overnight. They are signs that your body is out of balance. At the healthiest corner on earth, my focus is restoring that balance naturally using time-tested herbs, personalized wellness plans, and nutritional guidance, helping your body return to homeostasis, the stage where healing begins. When your body is in balance, it can protect, repair, and renew itself. You don't have to wait until things get worse. You can take control of your health now. My goal is simple: to prevent chronic disease and support your body's natural ability to heal. Book your free consultation today. Give me a call at 736-3962 or 709-8450. Let's restore balance and prevent what's preventable, because your healing journey starts with one step, and I am here to walk it with you.
Hey, thanks again, Kyle, man. Thanks again. But how you feeling this morning, bro? Yeah? All right, man. Okay. Drink lots of water, too. Let me just say this real quick. Good morning, Seema, and good morning, Rennie. I want to say this real quick. It will be remiss of me to not mention that young man's name who is sharp as razor at the port. That brother's name is Josiah Lewis. Josiah Lewis deserve Employee of the Year. Josiah Lewis is a boss. He does his job. Look in the dictionary for customer service. You'll see Josiah there. Not that the rest is sharp enough, because I telling you, Miss Grenadier and them who does bend over backwards and Miss Julia and Roberta, them people sharp. But here what happened. Let me shut my mouth right now on that topic. Cholecalciferol, vitamin D3. Want to talk about that this morning. Cousin Scrappy, good morning to you. My brother, love in the house. Cholecalciferol. And good morning, Corporal John. This, like I said, I want to preempt most of my thing this morning. Yeah, and I might start doing that. Cholecalciferol, vitamin D3. I don't know how many of you guys know this out there. But when we were created, what or who the energy that creates us, for some is God, for some is Allah, whatever it is, whatever your concept of the creator is. We have, as we sit here, as you move around on your daily job, as you move around on your daily routines and chores and stuff, as humans, Homo sapien, we have hundreds of vitamins in our body. Hundreds. In our bloodstream, because our body fight to make that based on the type of foods that we're going to eat, based on the type of foods we're eating. Our body fights that. Here's the deal. Do you know, with all those vitamins that we have in our body, in our system, in our biochemistry that flows around in the plasma of our blood, it's only one the human body could make on its own, and that's cholecalciferol, vitamin D3. So the question is to some people, if the creator, the one that created us, see it's so important to allow our body to make vitamin D3, it tells you how important it is. Which begs the question, why is this information out there a lot more? I will tell you why. Because with a depletion of vitamin D3, women, polycystic ovarian syndrome is a must. Fibroids is a must. For men, because here what happened? Cholecalciferol, there isn't a single cell, which is 3 to 4 trillion cells in the human body. There isn't a receptor on all those cells that is not one to accommodate vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is so powerful, it acts like a neurotransmitter. It acts as a calcium transporter, magnesium transporter. It vasodilates. We cannot live without vitamin D3. And here what? 45 to 55% of the people on the face of this earth is vitamin D3 deficient. Even those of us who live in the Caribbean, hear what vitamin D3 make from. Because I get into the sting part right now. Vitamin D3 is made from sunlight and cholesterol. You didn't hear me. Let me repeat that. Let me freeze the moment and repeat it again. Vitamin D3 is made from sunlight and the cholesterol. The same cholesterol that they demonized. Because I bring up this topic to come back to cholesterol again. Why? More people in my office again with the cholesterol medication. Cholesterol is a building block of the human body. You have no cholesterol, you can't make no testosterone. No testosterone, you are impotent. You don't have cholesterol in your body, you can't digest bile acid. You can't digest bile acid, diarrhea, upset stomach. For you women, if your gallbladder, for you people out there who remove your gallbladder and you're having issues and they give you cholesterol medication, which they normally does, you have problems. Mucho problems. So here it is. Mr. Johnson will try for the next few minutes that I'm here, try to educate you guys as much as I possibly can. And like I always say, the 55 minutes, although I use up 20 ranting just now, the 55 minutes on this platform, hear me out. If one person get the message, my hour was well worth it. My 55 minutes to an hour was well worth it. Just one person get this message. Understand again, If we lack vitamin D3, there are a lot of problems going to go on in our biochemistry. Not only that this stuff, that our cell has a receptor for it, not only that, but the problem is most of us will be and die silly because people who we believe in knocking it down. Why? Cholesterol. So now let me preface this a little bit now. If 50 of us, if you take 50 East Indian people, African people, and Caucasian people, put us in the sun for an hour, we might get, I don't know if you understand what, when you look on your if you buy a bottle of vitamin D3, you would see on the bottle it says ... IU. It may say 1,000 IU. It may say 5,000 IU. The IU, the abbreviation, that abbreviation IU, the acronym is International Units. It's the amount of energy that the sun deposits into the body that correlates with the liver and the kidney to give you that vitamin that you need, because we come from that too. All of us are one. The sun, the chloroplast of the plant, and all of us come from the same thing. Although some people don't believe that, because if they believe that, they won't be taking a whole bunch of pharmaceutical drugs and messing up their biochemistry. And again, I'm not against that. I'm just saying that you're not supposed to, you ain't supposed to hear nobody telling you is you got to take that for the rest of your life and all them kind of madness there. You're telling somebody that GFR. Don't get caught up here. I'm giving you guys lessons here, so make little notes. Your GFR, which is your glomerular filtration rate, is the way the kidney filters stuff and poison out the body. They're telling you your kidney is dropping low because the nephrons in the pump, I don't know if they're going to use that word, but the nephrons in the pump, no pun intended, the nephrons in the pump are not working. So your kidney is dropping. The GFR ain't working good. But you got to stay on these drugs for the rest of your life. That makes sense to me, eh? How my kidney going and process all those drugs? You're telling me it's not working good, but you're telling me I have to stay on these things for the rest of my life? Something smell like chicken and tastes like fish. So here it is. Don't think I'm losing what I'm saying here, because I only know how to talk like a spider web and go back in the middle. The cholesterol that is a building block of the human body, every single one of us needs it, for years has been demonized because they say it's called it causes osteosclerosis. Really, eh? All right, well, let me rest that down for a little bit and ask you guys a question. Everybody who listening to me out there now, answer this question for me. Did you ever have the opportunity to mix concrete? Sure. If you never had the opportunity to mix concrete, have you witnessed how concrete is mixed? If you never witnessed how concrete is mixed, have you ever seen wet concrete and what it looks like? Well, all that is possible because it has cement in it. So here's the question. Could you mix concrete without cement? Because that is the advice they're giving you, you know. This is the advice that we get all the time as it pertains to our biochemistry. Hold on here, hold on. Our brains is made from marlin. 100%. 100%. Our central nervous system, because the 100% marlin is cholesterol, 100% cholesterol. Our central nervous system, 100% cholesterol. Every single sex hormones in your human body, every sexual hormone in your human body, all, it's about 8 to 10. Estradiol, epidinetestosterone, estrogen, the list goes on. 100% cholesterol. 100% cholesterol. Every single cell in the human body, everyone, is made from cholesterol. Cholesterol is a building block. But you're telling me to bring down cholesterol to 200. There isn't a single scientific evidence on planet Earth to show that people died from too much cholesterol. And I know it are plenty of people going and drop up there, but what he talking about? Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about. Because again, one of my disclaimer is I don't know everything. And that's what makes me intelligent. And I'm not afraid to say that. I don't know everything, because some of us didn't know we didn't know. We still don't know that we didn't know, but we believe that we know. But we still don't know that we didn't know. So let me just explain this to you now. And you can put this into context however you choose. When your body, let me just say this again. When you go to the doctor, allopathic reductionistic doctors, and they do a test on you, there is no doubt for some people they don't see cholesterol in the veins. Absolutely, cholesterol lays right there. You know why? Glycation and oxidization from the inept foods that you would have eaten that cracked either the endothelium inside of your blood vessel or inside the artery. So to prevent, you remember I told you cholesterol is a construction material to the body. So to prevent you from kaputting, dying, or causing a stroke, because you can bleed to death, you can get hemorrhage, and that's it for you. So to prevent that, the innate wisdom of your physiology, which allopathic doctors don't believe, the human body is imbued with an intelligence. I'm not talking about an individual belief, that's their training. The wisdom of your physiology pelts out cholesterol, it lay down a band-aid, and you now live again. Well, if that happened, it's going to slowly narrow the area. So are you going and tell me correlation is causation? That's what you want to tell Mr. Johnson? Because if that's what you want to tell me, here what you're going and tell me too. The firemen, the 20-something firemen that you may see out in a building, you're going to tell me it's plenty firemen, so them have to be causing the fire because it's the same difference. So correlation with them being there to out the fire, them cause it. And this is the problem we have. So you're knocked down cholesterol, everything in your body done. Done. There are people with levels of 450, 500 cholesterol that's strong like a bulldozer. Strong like a bulldozer. And don't ask me where I get that from. I have peer-reviewed papers. Don't ask me where I get it from, because I can't disclose that. Meta-analysis, blind placebo studies. So sometimes when I'm here pontificating, my particular, I pontificate because ... You guys listen to me very carefully. So for those of you who think that you can pride yourself on your cholesterol, medication and knock cholesterol down, here's the other question I want to ask you. You see, I have a PDF home, right? I have a PDF. I guard it with my life. Inside of the PDF, every page has a disclaimer. You know what the disclaimer says? Mechanism of action for these drugs. We don't know. How does these drugs work to create sleep or certain action in the body? We don't know. So let me tell you that one time. So all the understand, cholesterol is not the Antichrist. Neither is sugar. It's not the Antichrist. You hear many times, I'm going to rest that cholesterol topic down for a little bit, and then you can call me at 736-3962, 736-3962, or 709-8450, or 709-8450. I'm going to rest that down for a little bit. You hear all the time, every day. If you go on social media, you're going to hear somebody saying on social media, sugar. Our problem is sugar. You're eating too much sugar. While that may have a modicum of truth, it must be contextualized so people understand the deal properly. I say this many times. on many platforms, included this one. Sugar isn't the Antichrist. So let me again bring some context to this. DNA, everybody know what that means. Everybody could bring a sense to what, when they hear the word DNA, it's pertaining to our biochemistry in our body. Well, let me give you the acronym for DNA. The acronym for DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid. Like I said it many a time before. But I don't know how my society that I love so much has selective and short memory. I don't mind repeating myself because we need to hear it. I'm about trying to help people to be healthy. That's what I'm trying to do. And live a quality of life. Deoxyribose nucleic acid. The word ribose is sugar. Let me get that straight. Sugar. None of us couldn't even blink if sugar wasn't in our DNA. Our very DNA is made up of sugar. The problem is refined carbohydrates and refined sugar that they put on our shelves now. Since after World War II, the kind of food, the kind of inept poison that they put on the shelves in supermarket, slowly destroying us. And let me tell you something. This food has nothing to do with you being healthy. It has to do with moolah, money, and shelf life. So because something is common don't mean it good. Well, I always use this. So wait, that means it good. That means it good, right? We live off of consensus and so much emotions. We are building a prison for ourselves. And when we build a prison, we argue and cuss with other people about the very prison we built for ourselves. And until we become a little bit walk together, walk and work together, W-O-R-K, together, and try, rather than knocking each other down, try to help each other and learn from each other. Until such time, we will always be in that prison we built for ourselves, complaining like it's somebody else built it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Mr. Johnson is far from being reverent. I ain't no reverent man. Believe what I'm telling you. I'm far from it. And sometimes I ain't even sure what that means, being reverent. Because there are some things that I have knowledge of that I can't speak about on the air. And I will never talk about it on the air. It's not radio worthy. It's going to bring Mr. George Station into disrepute. Not that alone. He may get away. But they could come for me. And I just want you guys to know out there, the reason I'm so unbelievably passionate about making my people walk a particular road is because of the things that I know. Some of the things that I know. And I say some of the things. Let me punctuate that. I'm doing the best I can, the best I know how. The best I can, the best I know how to disseminate this information. Now, we are living in a world where anytime a particular person tries to uplift other people, they are normally either deplatformed or killed. We pretend we don't know that's going on. We pretend we don't know that. Which begs the question, what kind of world are we living in? It begs another question. There are some people who need to make noise, and because their voices are extremely influential and they stay quiet. It begs another question. Why are they staying quiet? So, some things that make you go, But some conversations are for another time and another place. Let me get back to another topic. Yesterday evening, gentleman come into my office. We start talking, and he brought yesterday I had the privilege of looking at 3 different type of blood tests. I made myself learn how to do it. Yeah, all the information are there. How I learned to read X-ray, I was taught by some of the best in Canada. Because I had, while I was doing physical education, these are brothers who was doing their thing, and I used to get together with them, and they just kind of like me, because I'm kind of humorous sometimes too, although they know I have a big mouth. But me and those boys was good, and they teach me how to read X-rays. So I don't even know how that part come in. But the dude, the gentleman, I looked at his blood stuff, and this is after almost 18 months, 20 months with me. The guy, here's a question he asks. No, just let me just go back a little bit. The gentleman, when he came by me, was riddled with diabetes. His feet, both feet, between the calves, your gastrocnemius muscle and the ankle, black like dactari. Both feet. He also had to taken the jab. So I work with him. So he wanted to go to the, I had to let this story out. He wanted to go and do a blood test way back in the year, early up in the year. And I said, no, hold on, wait. Give me some time. Let's work through this. And eventually, again, one day, without, just like that, I said, go and do the blood test. But don't go to no hospital and do it. Go to a private lab. So he bring back the stuff. And his A1C says 4.2. And poor dude, he didn't even know what he would have accomplished there. I looked at the other lipid panel, sweet. I looked at his hematocrit, boom. Your hematocrit is the viscosity of your blood, the thickness of the blood. Perfect. I looked at uric acid, perfect. Triglycerides, barang, barang, boom. That gentleman had no clue why I was smiling reading this stuff. And here's a question he asked me. RJ boy, your diabetes could really cure, boy, because up till this morning I hear a doctor on the radio talking that it cannot be cured, it can only be managed. I said from their perspective, he's correct. He's absolutely correct from their perspective. But from a naturopathic Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic stuff, we know better. We don't deal with physiologies. We don't deal with pathologies. We deal with the physiology. We deal with the root cause. And the body can fix that. You cannot be a diabetic with an A1C of 4.2. Impossible. Cannot. And when I explained that to him, he started crying. And this is a grown man, eh? A grown man. And I was telling the other gentleman who came in to see me that had a blood test, I was giving him this story. Man just sat there and he's crying. He's just like sobbing away. For happiness, he did not realize what he would have accomplished. So I said, but why you think the blackness on the foot is like 90 to 95% fade away? And then he started giving me the story, how he used to wake up in the morning and he feel a particular way and bam, bam, bam. And now he noticed for the past 4 or 5 months, he started feeling really, real good. You guys process that for a bit. Let me go back to vitamin D3. A deficient of vitamin D3, when the body is depleted of vitamin D3, when you wake up from your bed, you can't even put your foot down on the ground without feeling pain in your ankle. You can't even make a fist. I want to talk about this, and I had made that mental note in my head because my time is winding down here. I made that mental note in my head that I want to talk about this, but as I bring up this now, it prompted that memory. It jogged my memory, and I want to let you guys know how important vitamin D3 is. You wake up in the morning, you can't walk on the ground. You can't walk. You can't make a fist. Pain. But if you give yourself some time, as the blood starts pumping through the capillaries, through the veins, back through your aorta, back through the veins, back to the arteries, and it oxygenated more, the pain slowly start to go away. Because the inflammation, where the inflammation was as you slept, now blood is there. So there's more oxygen and you're able to move. But here's the deal. If you go by the wrong doctor, hear what he's going to tell you. Arthritis, we need to put you on some cortisone, we need to put you on some prednisone, and the list goes on and on and on. What you were experiencing from a deficit of vitamin D3 is arthritis-like symptoms. Come by Mr. AJ and I will get rid of that. Arthritis-like symptoms. You hear what I'm saying? This is why when you move around, the pain goes away. There are tons and tons of people on the face of the planet now that experience that. You can't make no fist when you just wake up. Pain. But as you move around and the body get more blood, and I know there are a lot of people out there, if you're listening to me, you can relate to that. That's just vitamin D3, bro. You need like about 10 to 20,000 IU, 10 to 20,000 IU daily with 80 mcg or 125 mcg of vitamin K2. That gone with proper diet. You can't be eating no nonsense still. That will run. Vitamin K2, or you get MK7 with K2. Just get the right one, not the extra. Get the power. Come by Dr. Johnson. Come by Mr. Johnson. Sorry, me no doctor. Let me just say this again. Me no doctor. The word doctor means docere in Latin. Docere translating to teacher. You can call me that all day. Or just simply call me Mr. Johnson. I'll take that. So ladies and gentlemen, do your vitamin D3. I beg of you. Replete the body with vitamin D3. And anybody who's listening to me there now and you want a diet modification sheet, I'll send it to you straight up, no questions asked. Some of you won't be able to follow it. But don't come by Mr. Johnson with years of your body deteriorating with the nonsense you're doing to it and think you could get healed in 1 month. Most people, let me just tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. Listen to what I say. Before your body expresses itself in a chronic way, it's about 10 to 15 years of battling. It battling. It sends all kind of signal. It battling with you until it manifests itself. Why? Because what you're supposed to eat to refine, to make that refine, to cause you to get that particular substrate or component, the body can't do it no more. You start working on fumes. Then the body now expresses itself chronically. And you come in by Mr. Johnson and want to get well in 2 weeks. Here what I'm going to tell you. Emigres your amigos con Spanish dringos. Ask me what I just said, me no. I have no clue what I just said there. But don't ask me no inept question and don't call me and tell me that my raw materials exacerbate your problem. Because here what my raw materials are going to do to you. If you go to do a surgery without them putting you to sleep, that surgery will be messy and painful. Process that. So don't call me. Stop doing the things that you're doing and get your life straight. And stop listening to consensus and eat eggs. Eat 4 to 6 eggs every day. Do that. And stop telling me you're eating eggs and you're only going to eat the white because... Stop all your foolishness. Stop it. Please stop it. From a 1-to-1 mix of fat to protein by mass, eggs is divine. I can't tell all you that. Eggs is divine. Get that through your head. For those of you who don't like liver, I wish you could. Because it will handle you nice. For those of you who don't eat meat, that's upon you. That's on you. I'm just telling you, and for those who does eat meat, choose your meat wisely. I am a local man. I love local shopping. I forget my stuff locally. So at the end of the day, there's a caller. Caller, your life. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good morning.
Yeah, I will just say quickly on your editorial or the portal, I will just say this quickly. If the politicians, the religious leaders, and everybody, parents, everybody who are leaders, could be consistent, we ain't gonna have them kind of problems every single day.
Thank you.
And I say that with no holds barred. I'm a parent, I have my shortcomings when it comes to my children, in things I would have done, on choices I made. But that is one. Secondly, I have occasionally I will call in 136/94 at 51, right? And a heart rate of 75. Now, ever so often, I will not take a grain of garlic. Ever so often, I stop the tablets off the bat. This morning, the last thing I ate yesterday with my stir fries, same and tomatoes, was around 3 o'clock. I was not feeling hungry. So if I'm not feeling hungry, I will not eat. Let the body fast itself. And what I did, when I checked my pressure this morning, 121/85, with a heart rate of 68 because I was sleeping. We have to go back to our natural ways. I've been listening to Mr. Johnson right through. We have to check ourselves. We have to know ourselves. My mother used to say, okay, I don't need this today. I don't think I need some of that tomorrow. Give me a little silver because I need a little sugar in my body still. She lived till the age of 80. She passed away from a heart attack. Who was also a smoker and never had lung cancer. Nice. We need to check ourselves. Our forefathers used to, before tablets ever came, and we say the bush down different Maui and all these different type of things. All of a sudden now it is no good. Check ourselves. Mr. Johnson, keep up the information. Locked on, listen.
All right,
I will pay you a visit one.
Nice, my brother. Beautiful. And this is a nice way to end that up. What's going on there, Carlos? Getting a bad feedback there, baby. Yeah. This is a nice way to end that up. I love that. I love that. I love that passion, bro. Call in next week again, my brother. I love that. I love that. It's a good way for me to just kind of come off the air now because, Reds, what you say is you're unequivocally correct. And I wish more people could take that particular journey down the road. Ladies and gentlemen, and once again, it's been my pleasure and my prerogative to be here on this station this morning. I love being there. Good morning, Tanel. Hope everybody's doing great. And it's my pleasure to be here to try to disseminate as much information as I possibly can. And I'm saying to you, sometimes I misspoke. And for that, that's part of my disclaimer. And it's part of the human element. I hate excuses. I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses for weak people. I don't make excuses. I'm just letting you know Mr. Johnson is far from being reverent. However, here's what I believe. In this life, we all need each other to be each other. Without each other, we could never, ever be each other. Let me see if I have a few minutes here. Anybody who would have thing in there. My son, the general, what's going on, brother? Hope all is well, man. Hope all is well. And Corporal, yes, Corporal John, yeah, you do your thing. So, again, once again, the best I can do is give out these information. And I hope that it's of value to you and you can embrace it. So once again, we all need each other to be each other. Without each other, we're not each other. Am I my brother and sister's keeper? Well, it's supposed to be. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy, Mr. Johnson, a.k.a. RJ McGann.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain.